August 14, 2016 was the last time the Jamaican male sprinters won a 100-meter title. That's almost a decade-long drought. They have tried on 6 different occasions but no luck so far. Sprint star Usain Bolt was the last to have finished in front of everyone on the world's biggest stages, the Olympics and the World Championships, but he too got his fair share of the struggles.
It's just been rough, you know what I mean? This is one of the reasons I decided, it's time to go, because most of my seasons just keep getting worse and worse every year.
Even though he was the greatest sprinter the world had seen, his final races ended as a huge disaster and disappointment. Having dominated the sprint for a decade, with others only profiting from his errors, Bolt's dominance was finally broken and it set off a ripple effect right throughout the Jamaican camp. Bolt, seen largely as the athlete who overshadowed other sprinters, was now out of the way. And even though the world knew he had a lot more left in the tank, Bolt handed in his resignation letter and exited the track and field arena forever. Since then, the big question facing Jamaica is, who will take his place? The spotlight was once again turned on Usain Bolt, the former world champion and second fastest man ever in both the 100 and 200 meters. Usain Bolt and Jamaica were hopeful that he would have bounced back from the devastating injury that had dampened his progress, but after trying for a couple of seasons, it became clear it was just too much to ask of Usain. His body was never the same and age was definitely not on his side. With Usain Bolt technically out or on his way to join Usain Bolt, his former training partner, Jamaica was once again forced to search for its next superstar. But in came Oblique Civil, who was recruited by the coach that brought Usain Bolt to stardom, Glenn Mills. Oblique Civil, who was a Boys Champs standout athlete, was seen as an ideal candidate to carry on the baton because he was considered one of the few who were not overworked and burnt out. Under the watchful eyes of Glenn Mills, Oblique Civil's growth and development became evident shortly after. The expectations for Civil have been extremely high since then, but he too has run into his fair share of troubles. He made his first Olympic final in 2021 but finished 4th place. But that was still a decent performance for a rookie sprinter, especially since Jamaica never made the World Finals in 2019. Over into 2022, Oblique Civil again grabbed the attention of the world when he dropped a surprising 9.86 seconds personal best, a territory that Jamaica has not seen in a long time. He was immediately dubbed as Jamaica's next Usain Bolt. That year, he made it into his second big final, the World Athletics World Championships 100-meter final in Eugene. He looked extremely great going into that final, and it was probably his best opportunity to date for winning a title or even a medal, but unfortunately, that never materialized.
It's just unfortunate to me knowing that every year I make the finals and leave in the finals without an individual medal. So it's actually heartbroken for me.
During this time, another name was thrown into the mix, Akeem Blake. He too started showing good potential and a possible revival in Jamaica's male sprinting program. He joined the sub-10 club and even shined in the 60 meters, but that was still not enough for Jamaica to make a serious impact on the world stage. The United States, in the absence of Usain Bolt, was back to winning ways, and they were dangerous. Fred Curley and Noah Lyles both secured titles for the United States, but that was not all. In 2022, the United States got a clean sweep in the 100 meters. In 2023, Noah won a triple, the 100, 200 and 4x100 meters, something reminiscent of what Usain Bolt did back in his glory days. In 2023, news broke of an unknown Jamaican sprinter who showed up at the national championships and dropped a surprise 9.91 seconds. It left everyone talking, but just the way he entered the championships, he was pulled out without explanation from the final. Kishane Thompson was introduced as another Jamaican contender with crazy potential. In what was his second race of 2023, he dropped another 9.85 seconds, but that summed up his season. With the introduction of Kishane Thompson, Jamaica's hopes of returning to the top has been the brightest, and the 2024 track and field season had the world on the edge of their seat as everything unfolded. There was a showdown between the United States and Jamaica, and guess who led the charge? Kishane Thompson, of course. The season kicked off with the first big clash between Oblique Civil and Noah Lyles at the Racers Grand Prix. While it was a sensational performance by both athletes, Oblique Civil left Lyles in the dust as he crossed the finishing line, looking over his shoulders on Lyles. It added fuel to the fire, and Noah threatened to take care of Civil the next time they meet. Civil's form looked impeccable, but unfortunately, injury got the better of him when it mattered most. The Jamaican national trials came around, and Kishane sent a strong signal to the world that he was the man to beat for 2024. He blew away the final, dropping the insane world lead of 9.77 seconds while slowing down, which is still the fastest time of 2024. From his first race of the season up to the Olympics, Kishane showed the heart of a champion. His only weakness showed up at the moment when he was expected to end the drought for Jamaica. In the Olympic final, though he gave a sensational run, he was unable to stop the fearless Noah Lyles. Without taking away from Noah's impressive performance, it's clear that it was Kishane's worst race of the entire season. After that race, Kishane's coach made it clear that his injured enemy had showed up just hours before the race, which could be the main reason for him not reaching his best in that race. Other people are pointing to Kishane's inexperience, but whatever the reasons are, it's evident that Jamaica is ever so close to possibly winning another gold medal in the 100 meters again. The 2025 track and field season is now in full swing, and once again, Jamaica is gearing up to take on the world. But it's now evident that Jamaica has at least two names in the game that can and will be dangerous if they are in good health and shape: Kishane Thompson and Oblique Civil. The rest of the world will be seeing them as a threat and will be doing everything in their power to keep them at bay, but that will be easier said than done, of course. Oblique Civil managed to set a new PB last season and looked really impressive in his semi-final run at the Olympics. He looked as if he was going to go really fast and maybe even medal, but unfortunately his injury resurfaced and denied us the opportunity to finally see him shine. Hopefully he will bounce back this season injury free and with some faster times.